How's it going? It's Rob Schofield speaking. I'm going to shoot a quick tutorial for you to show you how to set up WordPress after you bought a domain. You've installed WordPress to it. I'm just going to show you what I do to get it kind of tweaked and ready to go. So first of all, you got to once you've got WordPress installed, you need to go to your admin panel, and your admin panel is to be found paste obviously your site, whatever you bought.com, and then at WP admin, WordPress admin, that gets you to the back end where you can log in, and then you just obviously hack in your details, and then that's you in. So this is kind of brand new out of the box. I've done a couple of things to it, not much, so I'm going to pretty much start from scratch anyway. When you first install it, depending on how you install it, I came in through HostGator. So in HostGator, you've got an option in your cPanel, something called Fantastico Deluxe, and that allows you to deploy WordPress onto your site or sites, whichever ones if you've got more than one. But it's usually a couple of updates behind, so it'll get WordPress on your site and it'll get you to this point in time. But the first thing you've got to do is to make sure is to look for updates. So I'm up to date. I did this last week. 3.5.1 is the most current update. So I've no need to reinstall it. But if there were an update, then you just click on the download, and it's really dead simple. WordPress does it all for you, handles it all for you, and it takes literally seconds to do. Now I'm going to be looking up and down here because I'm referring to a cheat sheet. So I'm just going to go through some of the other settings that I do to kind of get this ready to roll. So we're going to go to the settings menu and then the reading sub menu, and the only thing we're looking at in here is this thing here, this search engine visibility. Make sure this box isn't ticked. You don't want to be discouraging search engines from indexing your site, because there's not much point. Depending on how you want, again, this bit's more when you're more into blogging or more into running a site of your own. This bit about your latest posts or a static page as your front page. If you're going to be running it as a blog, which most people do these days, you want your latest posts on the front page. So when somebody goes to your site, they go to your latest content. They don't go to a static page. I mean, you can create static pages that are in a menu, but I always have mine set to your latest posts. If this button is back down here, if this button is ticked, this box is ticked, and you untick it, make sure you click on this Save Changes to make so your changes get made. Permalinks. Okay, we're going to go to permalinks. This is basically the way that your URL will appear in the search engine, in the address bar at the top there, and you can there's a number of things that you can actually force it to appear like. The default setting is like you see here, yoursite.com whatever, and then question mark page equals whatever random number that it spews out, which it's fine for a search engine. It knows what page it's looking at, but you want to make it kind of human friendly, and it's very important also for your SEO efforts as well. You need to make it so that you, like, for your audience, when they're looking at a page, it kind of makes sense what they're actually reading about. So you need to be checking this custom structure radio button, and all you're putting in here is /% postname %, and that's it. And what that'll do, it'll change your URL in the address bar at the top there. When people go to your post and read it, instead of it looking like this, like, you know, page equals 123 or whatever, or post equals 123, sorry. What it'll do, it will look like, let's just fire something up here. This is the blurb I actually wrote out to accompany this this video. So okay, so this is the bit I was trying to. I'm going to highlight this lot here. That's what I'm trying to say. Instead of looking like this, once you make that change that I've just showed you, it's going to look like that, which is a lot easier on your eye. In fact, I'm going to drop that down in case I need to refer to it again. So that's pretty much what we're doing here, and save changes. Boom, we're done. Now, okay, next let's go to general settings. Let's have a quick look in there. There's the site title. Now you can put a tagline if you want, you know, whatever your site's about, and it's just really, you know, again, it's just a little bit extra to tell your audience what your site's about. It will appear on your header if you, by default. You can tweak around to make it not appear, but then if you're not going to have it appear, what's the point of having a tagline? So you've got to kind of think about your tagline if you're going to put one in there. Most people do put one in. Now, all this business down here, time zone and whatnot, you want to be setting that way. You don't need to, but we are at, I believe, and let's check with my clock. Yeah, so I'm 5 hours behind. I don't know what the hell UTC is, Greenwich Mean Time. I go by that, GMT. I'm 5 hours behind. I'm in Canada, and then whatever date format you like, whatever, that's fine by me. Again, time formats, you can choose whatever time format. If you like a 24-hour clock, then you know you can change it that way. 1858, I'm used to it, but again, it's not important really. Whatever day you think your week starts on, I don't think that's important either. Email address. This here email address, make sure it's one that you own and you run, because all your like if somebody, you know, you get new users or comments and stuff like that, any of that kind of stuff, you'll be notified of it. So you want it going to some place so you know what's going on basically when you got new, like, especially if you get plenty of comments on your blogs, you know, or people that are trying to comment and they're waiting for moderation. You know, you need to have visibility of that. So make sure there's a good email address in there. This bit up here, this WordPress address and site address. Personally, I change that, and I'll show you what I do. I do this, and I do this. Now, just a second. Okay, I had to do a quick pause there. Interruptions were on the way, so forgotten where I was. Where were we? I think we were dealing with these URLs. So I like to add in this www dot in front of the website name, and I do it for both boxes. There's a bit of blurb down here about entering an address if you want your site or page to be different from the directory you install WordPress to. Doing what I've just done doesn't affect any of that stuff. That's going on about where your WordPress files um, will will be on the server itself. So believe me, if you're here because you've never done this before, you're not going to be messing around changing that, because you won't know how to, basically. So just banging in www.robscofield.yoursite.com will give you that www.yoursite when in the address bar at the top there. If you don't, then you won't be getting www, obviously. Now, when you make these changes, because you've changed that, it's going to force you out. It's going to force you to log back in. So we have to log back in. Now, I meant to show you the difference. So, like, let's just. Sorry, I'm not talking, I'm typing. Alright, so that's pretty much what a website looks like when it's brand new. What I was saying was, if you didn't make that change, where I just stuck those 3 W's in, you wouldn't see this bit. You'd just see yoursitename.com. So now it's kind of, where are we? Back to general. You should be aware that if you do change this, I mean, you'll probably remember anyway, but if you do or don't change, regardless of what you do, if you don't change it, or if you do change it, when you do backlinking, so you're going to be dropping a comment on another blog or whatever, or you know, make a post on somebody else's site. When you leave anchor text to link back to your own site, which you will, just remember how this URL is set up, because when you create that anchor text and you link back, you want to be putting www in if it's in here, and you don't want to be putting it in if it's not in here. It's not that big a deal, but it's just, you know, just be aware of that. That's all. Right, I've got to go back to my cheat sheet for a second. We'll see what I'm doing. Themes. Okay, themes. Right. Right out of the bag, this thing, WordPress, comes with a default theme, and it'll be one of these ones down here: 2010, 2011, 2012. One of these 3. I think it was 2011 that this one was that came with, and it's just a theme. Is just a look and feel. You know, it's just how your site looks to everybody, and there's so many. There's so many themes. There's free ones and there's paid for ones. The things with you get what you pay for. So with a lot of the free ones, you don't get a tremendous amount of support. You know, if you can't figure something out, or something won't work or whatever, you might struggle for support, depending on which theme you choose. If you pay for your theme, then you get support. No doubt. You know, you get support. So if you want to, you know, stick with the theme that WordPress gives you, then fair enough. But most people don't. Most people want to put their own in. So you've got this install themes page. You've also got a button down, and you go back up here for a minute. You can search, and you can, if you've got color schemes in mind and all stuff, you can tick these boxes, and you know, 1 column, 2 column, 3 columns, widths, all this business. You can kind of build a picture up in, you know, by ticking these boxes, or if you don't really know what you really want, you can hit the Find Themes button, and there's a whole bunch of themes down here you can go through, and you just click on them, and you know, just gives you an idea of what it looks like. You know, it's just a big, quick, cheap, and cheerful idea of what your page might look like. And if you want it, you just hit install, and it will install. It's that simple. Personally, or if you know the name of the theme, you know, somebody's told you about a particular theme, you can just type it in here, and off you go and find it. The one I use is something called Suffusion, by a guy called Seontan Sinner. And the reason I like this is because it's really highly customizable, and it's a fairly clean theme, but you can do so much with it. You know, if you really need like lots of widgets, lots of sidebars, headers, footers, and all that business, this stuff's got plenty going on. You know, so that's the that's the theme I use. Once you've got your theme installed, so my current theme, it says here is Suffusion, so I can go ahead and blow these away, because you know, I've only left them in here because for this video really. If they're not active, I can get rid of them. So that's gone. 2010 gone, and 2011 gone. And I do that just to keep things a bit tidier. Alright, where are we now? Comments. There's a default comment that's put in there, and like I thought it might have been on that page. Oh well. So you can trash it if you want, or you can edit it, whatever you feel like doing. I would just trash it personally, but if you want to edit it, you can. Just, you know, stick your name in if you want. Stick yoursite.com in there, and then in this part in here, you could just bang up something like, you know, welcome to my website. You know, if you want to leave a comment or some feedback, then you know, feel free. But you know, also just let them know you don't tolerate spam. That's a good thing to tell them. Just say, you know, but by the way, we don't tolerate spam. But personally, I just trash the thing. I have no need for that comment. The comments will come. It's just a simple case of doing that. That's it, trashed. Links. Okay, links. All links. There's a whole bunch of links that are put in by default. I have no need for any of these, so I'm just going to trash them. That's pretty much it. I don't want them. I don't need them. Delete. Apply. And they're gone. Normally in this place, this is where you put what they call a blog roll. So if you link out to other blogs, like if there's other blogs that you like to read and you recommend to other people, then that's where they will go inside here. And it's a good thing. It's a great thing for getting your some exposure, some early exposure. You know, if you've got a blog about, I don't know, golf or whatever, go to other people's blogs who write about golf and drop a comment on their blog and say, well, you know, I like this article, you know, whatever. Comment on some article they've written and say, I like your stuff. You know, would you mind if we exchange links? They'll be happy because it gets more exposure for them, and then you can drop your link to your blog on his site or their site, and when people go to their site, they see your blog linked to in the other guy's blog roll, and they go, oh, I've seen that before, I'll have a look, and they come and they see what you've got to offer. And that's kind of how you do it from the start. You start building up slowly like that, and you'll soon get an audience. So the only other thing is posts, all posts. This is where obviously you make your posts, and again there's this thing here, this hello world is the first post that they put in by default, and you can edit it if you want, but again it's a way, it's not, you know, you don't need it, you don't want it, well I don't anyway. Trash, apply, and now I've got to empty the bloody trash, and there should be a delete in there. Delete, okay, delete permanently, apply, and it's gone. I think that's about it. The only other thing is to talk about is plugins, but I'm going to do that on another video because this won't get just too long. So I'm going to wrap it up with that, and thanks for listening and watching, and I'll come back to you when I'm good to go with another video. Thank you.